The episode opens in the quiet dark of Aaron's bedroom. The only light is the orange glow of a street lamp leaking through the blinds. He lies awake, sweat gathering at his temples, the marks across his ribs darker and more defined, branching like invasive roots up his throat. The brand on his arm, warped by the shard he absorbed, has split into new paths that pulse faintly beneath his skin. And then it begins again. A low, layered chorus rises inside his skull, the entity's network voice. Not just static anymore, but hundreds of whispers stacked together. Instead of recoiling, Aaron does something new. He leans into it. His breathing slows. His mind sinks beneath waking thought. He slips into the network. A vast darkness stretches around him, textured like living bark. Threads of light run through the void, some leading to people, others sinking deep into the forest's black. One thick cable pulses from him back to the antlered presence hiding in the dark. Through these lines, he feels flickers of thought, fragments of dreams, stray fears from those touched by the mark. He tests the threads like a map of nervous systems, community stress, and ancient hunger intertwined. He finds tangled threads near the church, Reverend Klein's shape hunched over ritual notes, planning something. When Aaron snaps awake, he sends Mara a message. He can see who the entity is touching, and he thinks he can push back. The title appears, Third Option. Reverend Klein sits alone in his office later that night, surrounded by old journals and ritual diagrams. His arms tremble with spreading marks as he studies the original pact, the sigils, the requirements. He drafts a proposal, renew the pact through volunteers, sharing the burden across a community circle. When one of his parishioners texts her willingness, his eyes well with emotion. He believes he is saving them. He does not see the cracks he's widening. Morning brings clarity, but not comfort. Dr. Hart fills her whiteboard with diagrams of the evolving system, how the entity once flowed through a single vessel, how the shard expanded the mark across the town, and how Aaron reabsorbed it. She now believes the mark can be peeled off a person without killing them if it's redirected into a new structure, a sink, something non-human that can hold the pressure without becoming a host. Mara points out the obvious. They don't have such a sink. Hart answers with equal bluntness. They'll build one, even if they have to start small, even if the test is dangerous. By the time they meet with Sheriff Rowe, the urgency is palpable. People online are already whispering about strange dreams and renewal meetings at the church. Klein is rallying volunteers. The pact is reforming itself without permission. Rowe warns Aaron that time is running out. Hart proposes the test plainly. One marked subject, one controlled environment, and Aaron using his connection to peel their mark and redirect it. The risk to him is enormous. But the alternative is worse. Aaron agrees on one condition: if anything goes wrong, they stop. Meanwhile, at the forest edge, Silas and Ivy confront Caleb. The hunter is brutally honest. If Aaron loses control, Caleb will kill him. But Caleb also admits, if Aaron finds a way to permanently lock the entity down, he'll help him, then disappear. It's not trust, just alignment, for now. At sunset, the town crams into the community hall. The air is thick with suspicion, hope, and fear. Rowe admits the pact's truth. Hart explains the shard's influence. Klein calls for volunteers to share the burden. The room fractures into two factions, those who want to reaffirm the old pact and those who seek something new, something safer, something that doesn't require sacrifice. Rowe silences them with one announcement: a test is happening tonight, controlled, no one forced, a third option. And then the night begins. An abandoned hospital wing becomes the test chamber. Fluorescent lights buzz. Chalk and salt form a ritual circle. Monitoring machines flicker. A wooden ring carved with sigils, Silas's makeshift sink, rests at the edge of the circle. Mrs. Hastings volunteers, trembling but steadfast. Her husband is one of the sleepwalkers. If freeing her helps him, she'll risk anything. Aaron enters the circle. His marks glow faintly. He takes her hand. The connection hits instantly. In the network space, her thread brightens, a thin line tying her to the forest. Aaron grasps it gently, mentally peeling it away. Her body arches, but her pulse stabilizes. The tether detaches from the forest and slips into Aaron. Her marks fade. She gasps, lighter free, but Aaron's marks darken in response. Now comes the second step, the push. He reaches toward the wooden ring, trying to funnel the mark into it. At first, nothing happens. Then the ring pulses, light rises, the air thickens, the room trembles. The ring begins to drink the mark. It works for a moment. Then everything goes wrong. The forest boundary convulses miles away. Trees bleed sap. The entity roars, enraged. Back in the room, the ring cracks, warping into an unstable beacon, a flare shot straight into the god's domain. Static tears through Hart's machines. A spectral antlered skull imprints across the displays before vanishing. The chalk circle fractures. A blast of dark vapor erupts from the ring and slams against the barrier. Ivy collapses. Mara shields Mrs. Hastings. Silas lunges, grabs the smoking ring and smashes it against the wall. It breaks into blackened shards. The surge dies instantly. Silence returns. Mrs. Hastings is alive, unmarked. Aaron is alive, barely, but the forest knows now. It felt their tampering. Klein feels the shockwave inside the church and realizes others are shedding their marks. Rage and faith twist inside him. He believes they're defying divine order. He vows to stop them. Later that night, Aaron lies weak on his couch, Mara watching over him. He whispers the truth, redirecting the mark worked, but the sync fought back. It damaged the boundary, and the entity isn't going to let them build new systems without a fight. The episode closes in the ritual clearing. Sap blood flows across the stones. A new sprout rises from the ash, bone-white bark, antler-shaped leaves, dark veins pulsing beneath its surface. A hybrid, a symbol, a consequence. We hear Aaron's voice in the network, layered and strained. We're not your gate. We're not your leash. The entity whispers back, amused and intrigued. You are new. The sprout stiffens, fed by sap blood pulled from all sides. For the first time, they did not obey the pact. They tried to rewrite it. And something ancient felt the chain. Not as defiance, but as a new kind of threat. And now, it's paying attention.